What up, guys? This is my first NHL Money game I uploaded. Kind of my thoughts overall on NHL13, what I think of the game, what I think of the gameplay. Overall, I think it's a really good game. I think EA made strides in all their games this year. FIFA, Madden, NHL, I think were awesome compared to what they have been in their last couple years. Obviously, there's still a couple things they need to work on a little bit. A couple minor issues. Well, maybe this might not be so minor, but the one-timers in this game are awful. I don't even do them anymore. If I'm gonna pass it across the net to another guy, I'm probably gonna make a move. Otherwise, if you try to go for the one-timer, they're probably gonna swing and miss or miss it completely. It's one thing I think they need to address. The other thing is how slow the defenders turn their hips. If you have a guy at full speed and coming down the ice, you can literally skate right past the defenders. It's pretty bad, to be honest. There, he gets kind of a greasy goal, but whatever. Go ahead and roll with the Caps. He's the Sharks. I kind of like the Caps. Always been my team. Always been a huge Ovechkin guy. Hurt losing Semin, but they still got a couple guys that can get it done. But yeah, the one-timers are bad. The defenders, the way they turn their hips and skate is also bad. Other than that, I can't really think of too much in any game this year, NHL specifically, that needs to be looked at. Maybe how the goalies play a little bit. They make unreal saves on one-timers diving across the net. I think you just saw Holtby do that. That's a little extreme, but not horrible. Not like last year where they had the one-timer so good where you could one-time it from where he is on the ice right now. You don't see any of that anymore. So at least, I mean, they took out the one-timers, they took them out completely, but I'd rather have that than have, you know, that one-timer BS from the blue line. It's just my opinion. So definitely some improvements in this game. I really like the physics. There's no really glitch goals or goals that work every time. There's a lot of kind of garbage goals. Goals that aren't necessarily earned. But, you know, I mean, real hockey, throw the puck at the net. Maybe a tip. Maybe a deflection. That sort of thing. So essentially, I just try to get the most shots on goal as I can. The shots that I look for the most are wrist shots from the slot. I like to go near side most of the time. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take a slapper with Wolski and go ahead and put that top titty. But yeah, I just started playing NHL. I've played NHL since NHL10. Not quite as familiar with the NHL's background and the, you know, the overall concept of hockey. I know it now, but it took me a couple years to kind of know how the game is played and, you know, how to do things on the offensive end, defensive end, transition game. But I'm getting a better hang of it. My jargon and knowledge of it isn't as quite up to Madden. It's not close, but I would know more than the casual fan, I would say. But there's a lot of people that definitely are better evaluators of hockey, definitely better at evaluating the game. But for me, I feel like with my stick work, it's pretty much bar none, in my opinion, the best that plays NHL. I think NHL takes the most stick work out of any game, which is kind of why it's my favorite. In Madden, yeah, most of it's a mind game. It's mostly a chess game, but here you're making 1,000 split-second decisions with stick work, with hits, with shots, with passes. I really like it, really high-paced. FIFA, on the other hand, a little slower. Here, it takes 15 minutes to get the ball up the pitch. Here in hockey, you can just get that puck right up the ice. You know, a matter of 5-6 seconds. I like it. More opportunities, more stuff, more opportunity to do cool tricks, cool shots, cool goals. Probably my favorite game to play overall. Yeah, there's no really glitches. There's no short side glitch in this game. The game was horribly exploited last year until they patched it. I did pretty well in the Virgin Gaming tournament in New York, placing in the top 8, which is good enough for 3,500. Can't complain there. I've made some decent money on this game already, in addition to what I've made on Virgin. It's kind of besides the point, but there I'm going to go ahead and have another wrist shot with Ribeiro. Something that he's not really known as a sniper, but somebody that makes plays, somebody that filters the offense through. Pretty good distributor of the puck. Whenever I can get the puck in Ovechkin's hands, I'm going to go ahead and keep it in his hands until I lose the puck or take a shot. Or in some cases, go grab the puck out of the back of the net. That happens most of the time. Overall, I'd say the Sharks are a better team here. I got Ovechkin on the breakaway. I get fancy. Can't finish it. Can't put the cat in the hat. The same could be said for Madden this year. They had a lot of exploits in 12. The game was horribly exploited, I thought. And this year, there's obviously still stuff that is manipulative, but for the most part, they've kind of got the handle on that. Kind of got to scheme your way to victory this year, I think. There's no really plays that are going to work every time, just like NHL. There's no shots that are going to work every time. It comes down to, you know, who's the better hockey player, who has the better stick work. That's not to say you can't manipulate the game a little bit this year, because you definitely can. And I think I do as well as I can. There I use their goalie and stone him. But definitely not as easy to put goals in as other games. Some games you might have 0 goals and 20 shots. Last game, if I had 20 shots, I'm guaranteeing you I had 4 goals. Even as far as to say I'd shoot 40, 35% in last year's games. This year I'm going to say I shoot 15. If that, or 15, 20% I'd say. That way if I get 10 shots, I'm expecting 2 goals, 20 shots, 3 goals, you know. Somewhere in that range.
Maybe these other guys need a fight. They need something to change the momentum because they've got nothing going for them.
Here, just kind of skating around with Ovechkin, looking to make a play. I'm going to go ahead and grab that back from him if he doesn't mind. Lose the puck there. Ovechkin's so strong on the puck, you can zigzag your way through. You can usually absorb a lot of contact without having him getting, without him losing the puck. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and skate right by. Did bring it back to the backhand quick enough to score it. You go ahead and pass it over in a little one-timer. Just shots like that, I'm not necessarily expecting that to go in. But with a lot of traffic there, the goalie might not see it, or I have a tip, deflection. Just trying to get as many shots fired at that net. Obviously, he can't score when I have the puck down there shooting it, so the only one that can score when I'm doing that is me, even though it's not a great look. I'll still continue to do it when something, you know, better doesn't present itself. Kind of taking your check down in Madden. That's what I would compare it to. You know, just take that slapper from the point if nothing else is too intriguing. Here I'm going to go ahead and dance with Alsner. He stays pretty tough on the puck. Shield the puck away from him. And here I'm going to launch one with Carlson. It's going to go just miss. Carlson, a pretty good defenseman. I'd say overall more of an offensive defenseman. Not known for his hitting, nor does he hit even at all, really. But a decent shooter. Definitely above average with the puck for a defender. It's good to have some of those types of guys, and then some of your Schultz, some of your guys, you know, that are just hard-nosed defenders that get the job done physically rather than, you know, finesse. There I make a pretty poor play. I'm going to go ahead and dive. And he's going to get a penalty shot, and this is one of the worst penalty shots I've ever seen in my life. Holds LT, skates backwards, and then just dumps it down. I think there's no way I can foresee him not doing that on accident. I think if he did it on purpose, he's a jackass. He has no business playing for money. This guy was 500 on Virgin, just like 5-5. So hasn't gotten in a ton of games, seen limited reps probably against beginners on Virgin. So it's somebody I'm expecting to beat. I myself, I would say, even the good guys on Virgin, I'm going to give him a game. Not to say I'd probably lose, but the top guys on there, yeah, I feel like I'd give them a game, absolutely. But as far as being on that level, I'm not going to put myself up there yet. I just haven't been on the game enough. Like I said, I've probably played maybe 10 money games this year, 15 online games, and then, 100 games with my roommates just messing around and one-on-one offline stuff. I like to play offline a lot better on this game, like I mentioned in that previous video. But the Sharks, they have see that Holtby there dives over and grabs that. I mean, that's a legit save of the night type stuff, and they make 1 or 2 of those a game. So I don't really think that's realistic. I don't really think that should be in the game, but nonetheless, it's in the game, so you got to kind of adjust accordingly. Don't keep trying to do one-timers when you know they don't work and then bitch because they don't work, because it's all about making adjustments. So what, one-timers don't work? You got to find other ways to score the puck. That's what it comes down to. Not sitting there moaning about it. Here I got the black man Ward on the breakaway. Can't finish it. Kind of skating around with Schultz here, seeing if anything's open, and that was a pretty greasy goal. I just fired it at the net, and Ovi found a stick on it and just deflected it into the net, and there I get pretty sticky. I like putting that puck out there to the side and then coming back to that backhand eventually. I think it creates a lot of separation, a lot of deception, if you get the timing down. One thing I found helpful for me is just going to free skate. Try some stick work moves, stick handling moves between the legs. Practice shielding the puck away from your opponent, going up, going down. Make sure you get the right directions figured out. It's important to not turn the puck over against good players because you don't get that many chances. I'd say a guy like me, I'm gonna turn the puck over maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 possessions where I don't get a shot. 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3. So if you're going to go ahead and give me free possessions, I'm going to go ahead and make you pay for it. Simple as that. There, I'm going to go ahead and get it up to the black man again. Try to spin. This game gets pretty out of hand. 2 minutes left here. I'm up 7-1. Not sure why he's still enjoying this ass whooping, but he continues to play, so I'll continue to play. This is probably the biggest margin of victory easily for me on Virgin. One of the better games I've played. I've probably only played 5 or 10 money games. First one I've recorded and the first one I've played in a couple days. Decided to get some more NHL footage out there. Kind of my thoughts on the game this year, what works, what doesn't work, that type of thing. Here I'm just kind of being a toolbox with Ovechkin to an extent, but nonetheless it's super effective. Just kind of skating around with him, waiting for that open look to present itself and then try to bury it. There, I'm pretty good forecheck. I like to go 1-2-2 aggressive this year and drop that furthest guy on the forecheck down there, and then kind of user one of those two guys in the middle. Play center field, try to jump or poke check passes. Try not to go for hits defensively here. We only have 5 seconds left. I'm going to go ahead and dance all over it, holding my dick. Yeah, so 8-2 is the final of this match. Appreciate you watching. I'd appreciate if I get some feedback on my NHL videos. This is something that I haven't done. This is probably my first actual video. So feedback would be appreciated as far as, do you like what I'm doing? Do you not like what I'm doing? Do you want me to show more tips? Is gameplay helpful? Yeah, so just take a look. Thank you. Appreciate it.